video for lab 8, and from lab 7 we should have all the spiders on all the parts from the front wheel assembly. So now this time we're gonna add the CBUSH to connect the spiders or the spider to nodes. So physically that means we are connecting two parts together, and spiders just provide a connection for on each part to make them connected to each other. Okay, and the CBUSH is gonna define the stiffness of the connection itself. So for example, if you have rotation and without friction, then on that rotation, on that degree of freedom, then the stiffness is gonna be 0. Okay, so we are going to insert the CBUSH from this side, from the right side, because there will be some problem here. So let's turn off the 3D mesh. Now first we can connect the spider from the out wheel to the shaft. That's gonna be spider to a node. Now if we insert element and create, that's the way we insert a CBUSH. Okay, so you create a new collector here, then create a new, make sure it's CBUSH. Then we're gonna go ahead and pick up the nodes. Now you can put your cursor here long enough, then there will be a small window showing the two coincident nodes. So you can pick either, then you click another one. That should create a new collector for the CBUSH. But here we have a problem. It's basically it's a naming error. So if you see this kind of syntax problem, that means there's something wrong with your name of this two items you're connecting. So here you can see it's the arrow is between this and this. So what are you gonna do is, first you're gonna click this, delete this CBUSH collector we just created. Let's close this first. Then this is a, let's say this collector is not good, so we just delete this first. And then if you remember where the arrow was, we're gonna go ahead and change the name. Okay, so basically you don't want anything like this, you know, all kinds of weird symbols. So, and the shaft, so the arrow was between this part and this part. So basically let's try to just delete this, and I'm gonna delete everything here. Okay, so we have renamed these two items. Now we'll try to insert the CBUSH again. So you go insert element, then create the CBUSH. Alright, so new collector, then we select the nodes, one, and that's another one. So there's no arrow here, that's good. That's just, we can go and close it. You can close it, then you have one CBUSH collector. So next we're gonna connect the inside the spider from the wheel to the truck, the spider from the truck, or the spider that fixes the shaft on the truck. So we don't need the bar anymore. Now we just connect these two spiders. Okay, so let's look at the name first. So this is the name of that spider. I'm guessing there will be probably some problems, but we can try to insert this. And you don't have to go insert element to create every time, because this is the command that you just used. Okay, so and there's a full history of the command that you just used. So we just click here, that'd be much easier. And you want a new collector for each CBUSH. Okay, so we can go ahead and pick the nodes. There's two nodes here, 1 and 2. Okay, good, there's no problem. Then we have the second bush, CBUSH connected. Now you don't have to close this. We can do the left side, and since we don't have the bar showing here, so we can connect this two first. That's the inner spider from the wheel and the spider from the truck on the left side. Alright, now also we want another new collector. Sorry. So two nodes here, 1 and 2. No arrow, that's good. Alright, now these two, we can turn on the bar, then new collector, everything's new, 1, 2. Okay, let's close first. So we have connected all the spiders from the wheels to the shaft and also to the truck. Okay, that means now our wheel is physically attached to the truck and to the shaft. It will not fall off from the shaft. But now see here we have 4 collectors on the 4 position of the shaft. So we want to actually see the CBUSH from this from the view. So we can select all of them. That's when it's like Windows, you press Shift, then you can multi-select. Right click. Oh well, it doesn't allow me to do that. Then we have to do that one by one. Just right click, edit display, then you turn on the text. So watch here, click OK. If you look closely, there's a SP over here that stands for spring. So you want to go ahead and do this for every spider you just created. Okay. So now you turn off on all the 1D elements. You can see clearly. Just show the CBUSH here. That will be much clearer. Alright. Now we can go ahead and connect the if you remember, that's the bushing to the truck, and the top pair is the bushing to the connector, to the board connector. So we can do the repetitive work here, create CBUSH. Alright, and the new collector. Okay, hopefully the name will not cause problem. And make sure there's 2 nodes here. That's good. Okay, we have a new one here, and leave that alone. We can create another one here, just new collector every time, and hold your cursor at the same spot. See, there's 2 nodes again. If you see 3 nodes, you might want to delete the node that free flow at the same spot. Okay, we have just created a spring CBUSH here. So we have done the CBUSH coming from the bushing to the connector and to the truck. We're gonna go ahead and add a CBUSH between the truck and the connector here. Let's go and click auto creation, and 2 nodes, 1, 2. Okay, no problem here. Now what left is, all we left is the connection between the connector and the deck or the board. Okay, so that's gonna be 4 of them. We're gonna do that one by one. Just new collector, 1, 2, good, 1. Then new collector, aim well, 1, 2, got 2. Okay, only 1, 2. Okay, and then 1, 2. I'm zooming out and zooming in, so if you put cursor here, you can zoom in. Right, 1, 2. Okay, make sure every time you click on the auto creation. So maybe we can try to use different, maybe we can try to put them in one collector, but sometimes there's a lot of problem here because the name of all these spiders. Okay, so let me try to add this 4 together. So that means we have 11, 10, 9, 8. These 4 are the 4 we just created for the connector to the board. So let's back up once and twice, 3 times. Okay, now we have only 1, which is turn on the text, which is here. Okay, we can just turn on everything, every CBUSH. Which one did I just did? Text. That's why you want to only model half and then reflect everything from this side. Okay. Maybe we missed something here. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 on the shaft. Another one is here, the bottom of the bushing. That's the top of the bushing. That's why you cannot see it. Okay, it's number 7, I think. If I turn off the spider from the truck and the spider from the, okay, it's here. So that's number 7. Alright. Now let's try to put this four CBUSH under the same collector. So let's go to collector 8, but create new mesh, okay, and click this 2, 1, 2. Alright, that's good. Then the same collector, create new 1, 2, what's 2, 2. Okay, that's much easier. 1, 2. Okay. Now go close. So if you turn all the collectors on, the CBUSH, alright, we have spring here, here, and here. That's good. And 2 on the top and the bottom of the bushing, and that's the one between truck and the connector. That's 4 between the deck and the connector. So we are done on the front assembly. Next thing is we're going to reflect the front assembly, all the mesh on the front assembly, including a 3D mesh, the spiders, the 3D mesh, spiders, and the springs. But before that, let me see. We can first we can define the property of this 4 springs, and I want to try to put this 4 CBUSH in under one collector. So you drag and move them, drag them to the destination collector. Alright. So probably you can create the CBUSH under the same collector, but sometimes there's the the name arrow or syntax arrow. So just make sure I don't have arrows. Now that will be the collector of CBUSH for the wheels on the shaft. So basically they should have the same property. Let's go to right click on the collector and edit, then you click the monkey wrench, edit. This gives you the stiffness of the springs or the CBUSH. So if you look at here, I want the wheel to be able to rotate with respect to the axle of the shaft. So if you look at this corner here, you will see the axle is actually Y axis. So that means we want the rotation with respect to Y-axis is 0 or very small if you consider friction. So here we idealize the number that's gonna be 0, and we don't want the wheel to move or to translate on all 3 of the directions, and also the wheel should not be rotating on except on the shaft. So we will put a very huge number on the other degree of freedom, just for, let's say, you can basically fix all the other degree of freedoms. So we put a really big number. That's gonna be 8 0. So 1, then 1 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, then you can do a Control C, Control V. We're gonna Control V to every other degree of freedom. Do OK. Now we go OK. So this way your wheel will only rotate on the y-axis. So, and as to other CBUSH properties, we're gonna leave this undefined for now. So later on, DuckData gonna provide some realistic numbers for these connections. Alright, so pretty much we have done the front part. So next step, we're gonna reflect everything to the rear. Let's close this. Okay, then we don't need to reflect the board. So you want to turn off the board and turn off the spider on the board. So here, since the CBUSH connecting the board to the connector is, the spider from the board already there on the rear. So you don't want to reflect these four CBUSHs. So that means we don't need, and we're gonna create them later on after you do the reflection. So that's gonna be, collector 8. Alright, then we turn on the 3D mesh. So now we have the front assembly with the spiders on them, and with the CBUSH between them. Okay, not the CBUSH from the board to the connector. We're gonna do that later. So we can turn off this again, make sure the spiders are there, make sure the CBUSHs are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 6, 7. That's it. Yeah. Okay. Now we're gonna go do insert element, copy and reflect. You can select all the element here by dragging a rectangular. That's gonna take a while. Okay, and you can do that again to make sure this number doesn't change. Alright, if you remember, this model is symmetry with respect to either plane, so it's gonna be reflected with respect to y and z plane. Okay, and then you pick this one. You can rotate and make sure everything's right. I'll just click OK. Then wait. Alright. So to make sure everything looks right, can have a look at the collectors. You have a lot of reflected here. Okay, don't worry about that. Just turn on the board, then go to the rear, have a look at the holes. Are they coincident with this spider? Because we created this spider on the sorry about that. On the rear board. Okay. Now, so this blue one, or maybe pink one, is already created before, and the black one is reflected. And if you check the coincident, and if you move close enough, well, that's a little bit tolerance. It should be less than 0.01. Just make sure. Select object. So basically, usually you don't need to worry about this. We can try to pick them up. See how far away. See, that's very small. If you remember the tolerance we did on the duplicated nodes, that's 0.01. So this is a lot less than that. Okay, maybe I magnified it too much, so that's okay. The position is okay. Now, if you remember, we didn't reflect the CBUSH connecting the board to the connector. So we're gonna create them and turn off these, and we're gonna turn on this CBUSH. That's the CBUSH from the board to the connector. Alright, so you turn on this, there's nothing here. And if you show every 1D element here, is by you can see spring all the position you want. Oh, okay, see, so I missed this 2 spider. This 2, because we hid them before, and I think I'm gonna go just undo and have a look. Alright, and do the reflection again. So we don't want the spider on the board, and we don't want to reflect the spring, this 4 spring, and the other things are all on. Let's just insert element and reflect. I think the number was 22025 maybe. Ah, 2207. Then reflect with this plane. Click OK. And wait for my slow computer. Okay, turn off the 3D. That's okay. We have everything on the rear. Then you turn on the spider on the board, and we're gonna add 4 spring between this 4 pair of spiders. Then that'll be all for this lab. Okay, so I'm gonna do some work again, and you have watched that. I hope you can do that already by yourself already. And there's too much stuff here. Just turn off everything. The board and the connection on the connector. Alright, then insert element, create CBUSH. Hopefully they can be added to collector 8. Alright, now 1, that'll be 2. Okay, see, the NX doesn't really like long names, so close, and yeah, this one, delete this bad one, and you can go here and this the history of commands. I'm just going and use a new collector. If that's not gonna work, I'll have to rename the spiders. Okay. I think we can just leave this alone for now, because I did some check. For example, if we create this CBUSH here, okay, 1 node, 2 node, there will be an arrow. So we just go ahead and click OK and close. So regardless the arrow, we still have this spider here, pushing here. Now if you check the show adjacent, we can turn off the spider from the connect. That's mesh 10. Turn this off. Then let's turn this spider CBUSH off. So we can check show adjacent. This is the spider from the board, if you remember. So if we check this, it should give us the spider on the CBUSH we just created. So do apply. Alright, so that's the CBUSH, and that's the element on the board that the spider connects to. Then we can select the long press left key, select this CBUSH element, click, then do apply. Alright, so the spider from the connector will show up. So that means these two spiders are connected by the CBUSH. So for now, although there was an arrow, in terms of the simulation, I think that will be fine. Okay. So add this, and we just go ahead and insert the other CBUSH, and we'll be done with this lab. Collect 8. Let's remember, sometimes you can remember the number of the node. Okay, then next time select, make sure this is the node you just saw. Okay, I'm just gonna ignore this, and we do have another CBUSH created and here. Alright, another one, and that'll be the last one. Okay, close. Another way to check it is, say we created this with an error, and that one didn't have arrow, so we can turn on if you do a information check. Alright, so you can see it's number of nodes in the mesh. It's two nodes. Okay, and the other stuff, this is the property, we don't have to care about that. Alright, so 2 nodes here, and if we look at this CBUSH with arrow, information. That's the other, this one, 2 nodes. Okay, and the other way is if you show solver syntax preview. So now that gives you the ID of this element, and as well as the node, the 2 node ID. NID means node ID. Okay, that's 2 node that consist of this CBUSH. So if we check this preview, you can see 2 nodes here. So that looks fine. And now you should have a lot of spiders, a lot of CBUSH. Okay, all the spider pairs should be connected, and we're gonna come back and define the properties maybe next lab. Alright, thank you very much.